So the paranoia is becoming real, and I hate it, but I like it. This game has given me a lot of things to worry about that are frankly more fun and less anxiety inducing than the things I normally worry about. What that means for now is that I have been able to point myself into some pretty crazy places. Um, Not since the merge vote. The merge vote? Yeah. Oh no, I guess it wasn't. It was the bunny vote. Not since the bunny vote did I feel, or have I felt worried in this game that it's happening now. The predictable options here are twofold. Hashel goes or Drake goes. Taste is the safest player in the game. No one's going after Taste, apart from Hashel, who has been told summarily that that will not work. And I think he sees that now. So the obvious choices here are going to be Hashel or Drake. But there are some less obvious choices, and I think I'm one of them. I think Merc is too. I think Merc is in trouble more than me, and here's why. Chaos won immunity, and therefore has power, and Chaos doesn't care much for Merc. Merc isn't important to Chaos's endgame. If anything, he threatens it. They weren't on the same tribe. There was a swap. Merc handled it okay, but as far as I know, those two don't have a relationship. So, what if Chaos gets a wild hair, decides to try another move, similar to what he tried to pull with Spokes, but realizes he wants to actually get one right this time? He could, if he wanted, very easily scoop up Hashel for the idea of voting out Merc. Hashel just comes along with that, because it isn't him, and also, by the way, it probably means it won't be Hashel next either if it's Merc today. And then the two harder votes he has to pick up, but still feel possible, are that of Jose and Drake. How does he get Drake's vote? He gets Drake's vote by convincing her to wake up, to be a part of something. You've been in this game this whole time. If you want a shot at winning it, or if you really want to enjoy it or have the experience, be part of a blind side. Come along with me. Do this thing with me. It's compelling. As far as I know, Drake has been pretty aligned with Chaos for most of the game. Then the hardest one is Jose, but it's not impossible, because what does Jose care about at this point? The Mafia 4 in his eyes is dead. The only two people who really feel strongly about it are Merc and myself. So what happens for Jose's game if he cuts Merc? Well, I think he realizes that I am totally gone. I have nothing anymore, and suddenly I'm on the bottom, which is really good for him. Puts him in a position where of like huge and immense power, because now I kind of have to follow him, even though he cut me. So that's my paranoia at the moment. It's helpful, though, to sometimes have an ally who you can 100% confide in, because I talked to Taste about all of this, and he reminded me of something very important, that in order for this plan to work, and by the way, it makes sense, there is good reason for it, but in order for the plan to actually come to fruition, Chaos would need more information than he has. He has no idea how close any of us are. He doesn't know the dynamics, and Jose doesn't know the dynamics that I have with Chaos. There's a lot of reasons why this doesn't really work. And it's largely down to the idea that I assume often that everyone knows what I know, which I think is kind of the inverse problem as to what Hashel has. Hashel, I think, operates under this different assumption of, I know everything and I'm going to tell to everybody, and then they're going to follow me. Both of those ways of playing are not perfect. They're not correct. They're not optimal or anything. But the paranoia is there, and it isn't going away. And that brings me to the idol, because I have one still. And this idol is my idol. It isn't Taste's idol that I'm borrowing, it's mine, and I get to decide how and when I play it. So when do I play it? And I've been thinking a lot about that. If there is a chance that my paranoid idea could even remotely be true, if Merc's name is coming up legitimately or my name is coming up legitimately, it might make sense for me to go in blind, pick which one of us feels most likely to be booted, play the idol for that person. I could see that. And here's why. I think, I'm not sure, but I think that so long as myself, Taste, and Merc make final six, I believe we have control. And if we have control, what's to stop us from winning? It is only half, but I don't know. It feels really doable from there. It feels like Drake is not an easy boot to, or it feels like Drake is a relatively easy boot from that position. It feels like Jose could even be. Not that I would really want to go that way, but it could be. So there's options. If I make it through, if Merc makes it through, and I still have this idol in my pocket, do I play it at 6? Should I even need to play it at 6 or 5? You know, the idol gets more and more powerful the further you go because there's less of a margin of error. But what if your position in the game feels more stable the further you go? Because right now, my position in the game does not feel stable. So the idol is not maximally powerful, but it could be most useful for me because if my name does come up, well, now is when it is most powerful because I can disrupt that, can't I? All that is to say, it's tough. It's tough to know which way to go. It's tough to know which way the wind is going to blow here. I think we should assume that Chaos is at this point a quote challenge beast. You know, he shows up to all of them and does relatively well. He's good at moving through his computer quickly. I think that's kind of the biggest skill needed to win these challenges. Like, how quickly can you read? Reading was a big part of this last challenge. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Chaos read the rules faster than anyone else and then moved along. So how quickly can you read and then just manipulate your computer? I mean, I can move around through my computer okay, but I just have a laptop. My desktop isn't built and I'm not great at it. So, you know, no fault, like, or slight, it's fine. Just that's what, you know, these games, you know, seem to be kind of testing. How quickly can you refresh the browser? How quickly can you move through the computer? Blah, blah, blah. So, Chaos is good at that. Jose is good at that. I'm not as good at that. Getting rid of a challenge beast right now. You know, it's kind of funny to call him one, but he is the one who I would most likely predict to win. If you had to bet on someone to win a challenge, why not bet on Chaos? So, I don't know. Had a long day yesterday, so my brain's a little stewy. Tribal tonight could be interesting, or it could be safe. For the sake of like a good season, it would be kind of fun to see something crazy happen today. I can tell you this, if an idol gets played, I'm playing mine back. And I'll just play it for myself. Like I want to be in the final 6. If an idol doesn't get played, we'll see. But I'm thinking about it, because I'm not sure.